Dyslexia and What That Means by Amy Castle. According to the Yale Center for Dyslexia and Creativity, dyslexia is the most common reading disability, with approximately 1 out of every 5 people struggling with dyslexia. More than 20% of the population is dyslexic, yet many remain undiagnosed, untreated, and struggling with the impact of their dyslexia. People of all economic and ethnic backgrounds can be identified as having dyslexia. Dyslexia can also be found in people of all ages. By understanding this information, you will realize it is inevitable for you to come across these types of students during your teaching career. As a teacher, it is important to understand what dyslexia is and how you can best teach students with this learning disability. Dyslexia is a neurological disorder that affects the development of both decoding, so reading and pronouncing words, and encoding, or spelling. Dyslexia is considered a learning disability rather than a physical disability as well. According to the National Center for Learning Disabilities, dyslexia is often genetic. Unfortunately, for those who are diagnosed with dyslexia, there is no cure out there for it right now. The National Center for Learning Disabilities gives symptoms to look out for all ages. Some symptoms of younger students are trouble with recognizing letters or matching letters to sounds and to speech. Also, struggling with pronouncing words, like switching the beginning letter sounds of 2 words, and struggle with correctly learning and using new vocabulary words. Symptoms for teenage students can be the mastering of rules of spelling, remembering facts, handwriting, learning and understanding new skills instead of relying heavily on memorization, reversing letters, following a sequence of directions, and trouble with word problems in math. Older students or adults can struggle with not reading at their expected level, having trouble understanding language that is not literal, like proverbs, poor organizational skills and time management, trouble summarizing a story, and trouble learning a foreign language and memorizing in general. One resource that you can use to help students decode text would be to use the free online resource Alphabetimals. They are printable letters of different animals that are in the shape of the letter that the animal starts with, facing the direction the letter is supposed to be when printed. This resource could be especially useful for students who are in elementary school. Another strategy that you could use to assist your students would be to have notes written or typed out for them ahead of time. This could help students with their vocabulary and their comprehension. Other effective strategies for helping students' comprehension would be to have the test read out loud to them, use group work in your classroom, and also use visuals and hands-on teaching methods. By having a test read out loud to a student, you can generally assess whether or not they understand the material without having to worry about them struggling through the directions or the different test questions you have created. By using group work, this would allow dyslexic students to feel like they can contribute in an out-of-the-box, creative way. Visuals allow students to understand the material in a different way that might make more sense to them. Same thing with hands-on learning, in that it could help students grasp material in a new way. Lastly, technology can be a fabulous way in order to help students understand the material better. Some specific ways you can use technology in your classroom to help your students would be to use a word processor, an audio recorder, and also iPads, iPods, and apps that come on these devices, along with internet learning games. Some specific apps that would be cool to use in your classroom that would help would be Sound Literacy, Dyslexia Quest, and Oz Phonics. All in all, no matter what strategy you use to help your students, the important thing is that you're helping them learn. Students with dyslexia need to understand that we care about their learning just as much as everyone else's. Students with dyslexia are not stupid and have a lot that they can contribute to the class and also society as a whole as they grow older. Overall, by knowing the symptoms of dyslexia, teachers can be more aware of their students and how they can best teach them.